Let's practice some pronunciation. The Sanskrit alphabet. Follow along. A, I, I, R, L, U. Again. A, I, R, L, U. So what we notice is if there's a line on top, that's a long. Next. E, I, O, ow. Notice this is long. E, O. Now let's go into velars. What does velar mean? This is where the throat is involved. That means the sound is coming from the throat. Now you're probably saying all sounds come from the throat. Well, what I mean to say is most of the sounds are focused in the throat. That means less mouth is involved. G, K, G, G, N. Again. G, K, G, G, N. Notice K, G is different from G, G. There's an aspiration in K, aspiration in G. What does aspiration mean? It means there's a force coming. A puff of air is produced by force. Subtle force, that is. Ch, ch, j, j, n. Again, what do we notice? When there's an H in between, 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 it becomes aspiration. Like that, like that, like ja, like ga. Again, cha, cha, ja, ja, na. Now, that was the palatal. That means most of the sounds were produced in the palate. Now, retroflex. What does this mean? Most of the sounds are concentrated, that is, they're made whereby the tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. How do you know if it's in the right position? Say the word sharanam, sharanam. Don't try to say it, just say it naturally. Sharanam, sharanam. This is just the sh is like a shoe. This sh. So say sharan and pause at the n and notice where the tip of the tongue is. Sharan. Mine is about 70 degrees forward. It's not 100. It's not 90 degrees up. It's up, but it's forward. Okay. R. Da. Now, pause at the da. When we say da, where is the tip of the tongue? Is it 90 degrees all the way on the top? Wrong. Is it about 70 to 60 degrees forward? Yes, that's correct. Da. Ta. Ta. So, da, ta. Da, da. Na. Now, dental. What does dental mean? Most of the sounds are concentrated whereby the tip of the tongue is in front of the two front teeth. That means it's touching the two front teeth and it's underneath the two front teeth. L, D, T, D, D, N. Labials. What does labial mean? It means the sounds are made whereby the concentration is through the lips. U, oo, o, ow. Notice how the lip is involved. B, p, b, b, m. Again. B, p, b, b, m. Now, if there is some trouble pronouncing these aspirations, then to exaggerate, it would be more like k, like K and H. K. If you could say K and H together, that's what it would sound like. K. If still having trouble pronouncing, then just remove the K, pretend, and just say ha. Pretend, just say ha. Pretend, just say ha. Pretend, just say ha. Then what do? We replace j. We put a j in front. So jha, j. What do? We put a ch in front. So ch-ha, ch-ha, cha. What do? We put a g in front. So g-ha, ga. What do? We put a k in front. So k-ha, ka, ka. Okay. Semivowels. Please remember this word, semivowels, because we will be using it. And what happens is ya, ra, la, va comes to mind. Ya, ra, la, va. When we say va, it's not v, it's not a strong v as in victory, but there is a mixture between victory and wabbit. Or, well, that's all that's coming to my mind now. So, not v, it's not a strong v, but it's a slightly looser, as in v, between a v and a w. In English, between a v and a w. So, mix that together, you get v. So this means right before pronouncing the v, you change your mind into a w. So v. It's almost like the first half is victory, and the other half, the last half, is the w. So v, but not so obvious, subtle. V. Sibilants. Over there. Again, remember this name, sibilants. Sh, as in shoe. Shine. Sh, this is a retroflex. What is retroflex? Go back here. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Not 90 degrees, but about 60 to 70. How do you know where exactly? Say the word sharanam and pause it at N. That's why I don't want to give the exact percentage of the degrees, but you know by saying sharanam. So when you say sh, now you know where the tip of the tongue is. Sh. So there's a difference between sh, that means shu, sh, and sh. What kind of difference? You practice, and then you'll notice. A subtle one. Sa, like snake. Ha, like ha 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 ha. Ha. Okay. Let's practice spoken Sanskrit. Namo Namaha. Repeat. Bhavataha Bhavataha Nama Kim. Bhavatyaha Nama Kim. Bhavatyaha Nama Kim. Remember, that's a long A, not Nama Kim. Nama Kim. Mama. I'm sure that's a very difficult word. Mama Nama. Ma Nama. Mama Nama. Bhavataha Kushalam. Kushalam. Asti Va. There's your V there. Remember what we said about the V. Not like victory, but mixture. V and W. Bhavatyaha Kushalam Asti Va. Am. Mama Kushalam Asti. Nahi. Mama Kushalam Nasti. That's together Na Asti. So you put this together, you have Nasti. Then why don't they put Nasti? Because it's easier to say Nasti than Nasti. Takes more energy. I'm already tired saying Nasti. Whereas if I say Nasti, it's so natural. Uttamam. Uttamam. Shuddham. Remember, blowing away. Aspiration. Shuddham. Blowing away means puff of air. Ashuddham. Kr. Kripaya. Dhanya Vadaha. Dhanya Vadaha. Dhanya. What kind of nya? As in new, when we say the word new. That kind of nya. Punar. Soft R there, not so strong, but it's okay. It doesn't depends on where we're from. Some will say punar, but we need to soften that down a little. Punar milamaha. Milamaha. Tat. Etat. Long E. Etat. Not etat. Etat. Kim. There's your retroflex. Sh. Now you know where the tip of the tongue is. Pushpam. Again. Pushpam. Vastram. Not tra. Often mispronounced by English speakers understandably. Vastram. So tra is actually tra. Vastram. Palam. Jalam. Dugdham. Parnam. Now, when we say the retroflex, Just simply keep alert on where the tip of the tongue is, because it's a retroflex. Pustakam, pustakam, pustakam. Upanetram, upanetram, upanetram. I hope you're saying the English word also, because the point of this is to memorize these words. Vatayanam, vatayanam, vatayanam. Not vatayanam, because there's two long A's. A, or not A, should we say ah? There's too long ah, 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 ah. Okay? Vatayanam. Dura darshanam. Dura darshanam. Dura darshanam. Atra, tatra, kutra, asti, nasti, mama, mama, bhavatyaha, bhavataha, mam prchatu, tam prchatu, tam prchatu. And then we can now formulate sentences. Homework in the next class will be to get comfortable with this page so that we can be put into groups and practice spoken Sanskrit.